G'day, Steve Morgan here, ABT, talking to the winners of the first round of the 2021 Zerek BARRA Tour. It was the Daiwa Teemburra event. Mick Slade, Ben Wilcox got the job done on the lake, which sometimes kicks out giants, but never quite hit that 120 centimetre mark this year. Mick, were you expecting a big fish after your cracker you caught on pre-fish?
Yeah, well, we did get a good one on the pre-fish, so I was kind of hoping the big one would come through, but yeah, they didn't seem to come through the same as they did.
Tell the guys what a big one is.
124. Yeah.
Metre 24 centimetres, absolute donkey. You were pre-fishing that by yourself. You were still in transit, Ben.
I was working and then had a wedding, so yeah, I was a bit late to the party.
So it has been a bit of a party for you, party at a wedding, and you've been partying pretty hard on the BARRA Tour as well, mate.
Well, that's what it's all about. It's just good to hang around all the people you don't see very often. So
that's great. Now, let's talk about the specifics of the event. You got your 5-fish limit. Did they happen before dark or later on in the evening?
So we got fish really early. We got a fish like third cast or something, and then the points where we were pretty close together, so we backed off onto another point, and we hooked another big one that ended up getting away, and we got a couple more, and then it just dried up, and there's nothing going on that sunset bite, and we thought, oh well, we went have a search around where I pre-fished a few other spots and found nothing there either. So we thought, oh well, if we're going to catch nothing, we might as well go and do it back where we thought a big fish might roll through, and they happened to come through in the end. So
how many fish did you catch for the night?
I'm not sure what it was. It was 9, I think we put in on the card. So It was
So a limit and then several upgrades to get the win.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I think we got 9 in the end on the boat. Yep.
Take us through the tackle you're using. I know you've got a very popular lure on tour is the Molix, but that's not a standard modification. It has less treble points than normal.
it does, yeah. We've just got the one sting hook on. That's a size 1 BKK Viper, and then yeah, they're good lures. They just seem to work to slow roll them, and you don't have to do too much with them.
So your only modification is literally take off that treble hook that comes in the box and then put the Viper on it?
Yeah. Oh, the split ring as well.
And the split ring, yeah. Tell us about the rod and reel you're throwing it on. Thrown on a spin rod. They're a heavy bait. They're like 60 grams, that bait. What do you throw it on?
They are. Well, this is a Dobyns Fury 765.
You're just reading that off the bottom.
12 to 25 pound. Yeah, 4,000 reel, and they're just they're good. They're like being a longer rod, you can put a bit of hurt on the fish, and yeah, I like it.
Tell us about the braid leader setup you use. Like all BARRA fishermen, you're using pretty heavy gear in that department. What you got on?
Yeah, well, this is 30 pound Suffix, and then this is the 80 pound FC leader. 80 pound fluoro.
No,
fluoro.
Okay. Awesome, and then no problems winding a metre plus BARRA on the spin rod.
Doesn't seem to be, no.
No. Good. Slady, you've got a couple of outfits here as well that you like using. You've got a Molix on the bait caster as well, and don't worry, I have turned the fans off.
Yeah, so that's a 765, pretty much the same blank, but in the cast.
Yep.
And that's just the Molix, same thing. We just, same thing, change that treble output. I think that's a 1.0 in the Viper. And we'd leave the little thing on the back of it. We're too...
They're sharp.
We're too cheap to put 2 hooks on there because that just wrecks the lures.
Yep.
So...
And you find the one hook doesn't matter, eh?
No, they seem to eat it down. I think it gets in a bit better. I think when with the one hook, they don't have as many points to sort of jag them on the way into their mouth. They get it in there down their throat a bit better. And then the same thing. That's just 30 pound 832, and that's 80 pound FC 100 Sunline.
Yep.
And then,
I noticed you got the mustard fast hatch clip on there as well. You don't mind being able to swap them out quick?
Yeah, because I like to just chuck different stuff around all the time, so we just change them out. Yeah.
And here's an old favourite of the BARRA Tour, the old black gold slicky. What's going on with that?
This one's got a few modifications as well, so that's just a jig head. I've made a bit of a mould so I can make my own jig heads. That's an owner beast hook in it. Yep. And a size 1 stinger on it. And
bit bent out too. You've got a custom bent out by BARRA.
Yeah, he's pre-bent, ready to.
And do you do anything with the tail there? A couple of little cinches in the tail.
Yeah, so do a bit of work on them. So I pretty much put them in the thing and boil them for a little while, and then just get them and put 3 little slits down each side with a soldering iron, and just get so that tail works a bit better on when you slow it down.
And because it was the Daiwa event, of course you're under the Daiwa reel there. What's that bait caster?
Yeah, it's a Daiwa Tatula on a 705 Savvy, and that's that new Sunline stuff. It's Sunline Agassi or something, I think it's called, something like that, which seems to be, that's the first spool I've had of it, seems to be going pretty good. So
Take us through the spot you caught most of your fish. You said it was a point, but explain how you fish a point. Do you anchor off it? Do you drift around? What's your strategy?
Yeah, it just seems to be, as long as the weed sort of seems to taper off on the point, they don't mind coming up onto it then and doing their thing, and we just cast up onto the weed and over the top of the weed and sort of bring your lure back down across the top of it.
And you want it to just tap the weed on the way out, or would you want it to be clear of it?
Yeah, preferably. Yeah, you just let it just sort of you control that with your speed. Like if it's burying in there too deep, you just speed it up and let the lure raise above the weed a bit and bring it out. And yeah, sometimes I hit it in the weed, sometimes I hit it out off the weed. Just depends on how they feel on the day.
Who was the champion of the night? Who got all the bites? I know I'm not supposed to ask this.
Slade did. He got a couple of the bigger ones too. So.
And they make a difference, those big kicker fish, don't they?
They do. Yeah, they're a big. Even if you just get one in your bag, it's it helps a lot.
Final question. Congratulations on the win. Having a good time at the Barra Tour, mate. It's a pretty social event.
Oh yeah, love it, eh? Wouldn't miss it for me. Nuts for the world, eh?
Tell the guys there what they're missing out on if they miss the Barra Tour.
Oh, everything. It's just like if you're really into fishing, doing your catch and release fishing, it just takes it to another level, and it's all social, and everyone gets together and has a great time, and you learn a lot as you go. Mate, if you're thinking about having a go at it, I'd get in and have a go at it. That's as simple as that.
There you go. Slade and Ben, they're two of the most social guys on tour here, and congratulations winning the Teemburra event.